Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Looking at my messy desk here today. I've got everything kind of spread out here today. Just taking up all the room that I can in the world. Let me just bring this up on my Facebook, on my laptop, and I'll be right with you. Where am I? Somebody's here. Oh, a few people are here. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Okay, all the sharing is done. Now let me go back to the original feed. Hi Paul, how are you? That means Dali is somewhere behind you. Good morning Min, how are you? I packed all your goodies yesterday. How is everybody doing? Oh yes, good evening Paul. Good one Min. Good evening Paul. That's right. So how are you guys doing today? Today I'm going to carry on doing Christmassy stuff. Well, one, Christmas is around the corner. Two, Dali and I were chatting, and good morning, Debbie. Am I a bit quiet, Paul? Is that better? Is that better? Am I louder now? Maybe I was a little bit distant. Oh, thank you, Debbie. I can hear myself actually on my laptop too, so I better turn that off. That's all good this side, perfect. Thank you, Paul. I'm going to carry on with the Christmas theme because Dali and I were chatting yesterday. Nearly lost my train of thought. And we're going to do this week's Facebook Live. So Dali will be on Wednesday and most likely Thursday. And then also we're going to do one the following week, which I believe is the 8th. And then, can't get my numbers right, and the following week. And then we're going to take a 2-week hiatus just to rejuvenate. So the week of Christmas and the week following up to the New Year. So we'll be back in the New Year, which I believe is January the 5th for me. But I can talk about that next week's live. So just 2 more lives after this for this year. So I wanted to continue with Christmas. Paul and Dali will be judging the entries. Thank you everybody who submitted their entries for the month of November. Some amazing entries. And thank you all for your Facebook Live support. Means a lot to us for the sale that we did. And also the new color for the month, of course, is red. So next week, most likely, or the week after, I will be giving you some inspiration for the color red. So Dali and Paul will judge, and hopefully we'll have an answer by the end of the week, and I will judge from my end for entries on Dali's side. Hi Jill, how are you? And yeah, so that's it. So today I'm working with creamy acrylics. Now, creamy acrylics are very, very decadent paints. You get them in matte. You've seen me work with them in matte if you watched my Facebook Live when I did the bottle last week. And with the matte, obviously they're very matte, but very creamy. They're not like your regular acrylic paint. They're not so watered down. Like I said, they're very lush and decadent. And then there's semi-gloss, which has got a sheen to it, if you will. It's the glossy acrylic. And then the one that I'm going to work with today is the highly pigmented metallic. And the ones that are highly pigmented have this gorgeous kind of goldy sheen to them. They all do, but the highly pigmented are obviously more stronger to look at. So they come in all kinds of colors. I've got more than a few of the colors here because I wasn't sure which colors I was going to use today. But, oh, I am missing a color here. I'm missing my favorite color, teal. So these, I don't know if you can tell, but the metallics, they have a gold in them, like a gold shimmer. Hi Dali, there you are. Thank you. They have a really nice gold shimmer in them, and you'll be able to see this when I do the demo. So today we're using then the Creamy Acrylic Metallics by Pentart. I've got a couple of my wax paste here, gold and silver. We're gonna be using the black soot. I think I said it right. Soot. I got it, mutt and soot. I remembered, Paul. A couple of my 3D decor pens. I've got gold, silver. I've got the gold glitter. Didn't grab the silver glitter. Pentart light modeling paste. And then the 3D varnish, just for gluing. And then I've got the Emerald Creek Champagne Classic and Mirror Platinum embossing powders. And I'm also using a Stamperia stencil, which you can see has been used in many workshops. It is the music stencil right here. Okay. I know, Paul, look at me, I'm so scared you're going to correct me, but that's a good thing. So usually when we think of acrylic paints, what we tend to think of is, what do we think of? We think of painting with them. Just painting with them, and that's all. I like to just, you guys know, I like to just push myself. And yesterday when I was thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I decided, well, let's push myself and let's use my acrylic paints in an unconventional way that I'm not used to using them. I'm just going to move these all out of the way here. Look at these colors, aren't they just absolutely gorgeous? We've got eggplant, light blue, silver, light green. There's lots of more colors. These are what I have on hand. Green and this gorgeous turquoise. And I've put some over there, the teal. I'm just going to put these away. I have a teal and a bronze, which I may use today. So for my actual cards, the colors that I used, I know, Gail, we keep talking about that, don't we? As you know, and I know these are your favorite colors. So these are the three colors that I actually used in my sample pieces: the teal metallic, the green, and the turquoise, just so you know what I used. So there's two different types of cards. I've already got embossing powder everywhere, dropping my little things here. This is done on just a glossy type of paper. So this is more shinier and glossier, okay? And then this is just done on your regular cardstock, so it's not as shiny. It's a creamy metallics, and the reason you can tell is, and I don't know if you can tell on here, but these have an automatic golden shimmer to them. There's a beautiful gold shimmer. It's just absolutely gorgeous, and you can really see it on the card. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, there you go. You can see a little bit there on that end leaf right there. So they automatically give you a shimmer regardless. And I've got my 3D pens here. So these are the two cards, and today's technique, what I'm going to teach you is how to take just a regular, I've got a Tim Holtz die here, the one with the poinsettias. You can't probably really see that. Let me see, where is my embossing folder packet? So it's a big texture phase. This is the one I'm using. So what I've chosen to do is die cut after I've done all my paint work, if that makes sense. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. So in order to get this texture on here, because there's extra texture apart from the paint on here, thank you, Min. To get the texture on here, you can see here in white there's texture on there, and with this one there's gold. So the process is the same. We're just going to emboss this one. Okay, so let's get started. So the very first thing that you want to do is we are going to use our, oh, no more paints. Yes, I know, Gail, right? More paints. The first thing that we're going to do is I've got a couple of extra, quite a few sheets here. I've got 4. So I just wanted to try something different with my leftover paint. So this is just an extra sheet here. This I'm going to do on regular cardstock, stencil on regular cardstock, and I'm going to stencil on regular cardstock again on here because I want to show you how to get 2 different tones so that your poinsettias look a little bit different. And then on this one, I won't do the same on the glossy. I will just do only 1 sheet. It'll make sense when I put it together what I'm trying to do. Okay? And like I said, this is just extra to sop up extra paint. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is put down your stencil and come in with your modeling paste. So on the regular cardstock, I'm going to leave the modeling paste as it is. When I stencil on the glossy paper, I am actually going to put embossing powder over the modeling paste. Now, why am I using modeling paste? Because when you heat up modeling paste, it puffs up and it gives a 3D effect when it's got embossing powder on it. Now, hi Tara, if you don't want it to puff up so much and be so prominent, I would go with a more intricate stencil than this, and I would use the primer paste instead and then emboss on it, and that will give you a more non-3D look, embossed look. The other thing you could do is stamp directly onto your paper and emboss it first before you put the colors down. But we are going to stencil because I want to show you how to work with the modeling paste also. So I'm just finding an area here that I like, albeit this is probably upside down. And we're just going to go ahead and stencil. And this is just very quick. Just stencil all over. I'm not too fussed about getting this really smooth or anything like that. I just want to get some, whoops, I just threw a bunch onto my laptop screen. And you want to cover your whole sheet because this whole sheet is going to be giving us our poinsettia flowers, but also our die cut sentiment. I went with peace, but you can use any sentiment that you want. So just a nice thin coat of the modeling paste. Like I said, if you don't want such a 3D look, then you can just go with the regular primer paste. And that's it really, that's all you're doing. So here's one down. This is on the regular cardstock, not on the glossy. And we are gonna leave this one as is. We are not gonna add any embossing powder to it. I quite like the matte look. So that's what it looks like. Got a little bit sploshy. No, glossy paper as in the poster board that I use for the alcohol inks. Gloria. Now my stencil is so worn and torn, so I'm getting a few little smudges. Personally, where I did the gold embossing one, I would use a more intricate stencil. I find for me, this is just too much of a stencil with the embossing. Or what you could do is leave pieces out and not emboss it all. But that's just my preference. So we're going to carry on, and we're still on the regular cardstock here. We're just going to give it a nice little thin brush. So this also means that you're not waiting forever for it to dry, which means that you can just go ahead and make your cards. Now, I don't know how many of you have the creamy acrylics. If you've used them, they are absolutely, absolutely so lush. And the metallic ones, I just love because they leave that golden shimmer. And you can actually, because of the high pigment in them, you can actually water them down and put them in a spritzer bottle and also use them as like a medium mist spray, if you will, that has shimmer in it. Okay, another one done. Obviously I'm doing this like super fast, super speedy. So this is again on the regular cardstock. We are not going to do anything with this. We are just going to leave it as it is. You can use any stencil to do this. Doesn't have to be music, whatever kind of tickles your fancy. So this now is a glossy one. This is Gloria asked a good question. It's not Yupo, it is just your regular poster board that you can get from the pound shop or the dollar store here. And let's come over and let's do this one. I use my big texture die, poinsettia die so much, it's not even funny. As people who know me, it's always my go-to make and take at retreats for people who haven't done them. There's so many possibilities when you're working with the dies. Don't ever think it has to be on plain cardstock. You can do so much with them, and it's always nice to think outside the box a little bit. If you like that look of a slightly mixed media card or just want something very different, dig out your old dies and see what you can do with them. Sorry, I haven't been focusing on the comments here. Hi, Royette. You're welcome, Gloria. Okay, so with this one, what we're going to do, we're going to emboss this. Okay, so we're just gonna, it looks no different on the glossy paper. It looks just the same. It's just got more of a sheen to it, the paper itself. I'm just gonna put my stencil away here. So far so good, right? Making lots of sense, right? This stencil is been through so much, so many provinces, so many places. It's not even funny. It's a very, very popular stencil. Okay, in fact, I don't think I even have any of these. Okay, let's put that aside. Let's just wipe this down and back a little bit. It's not really going to make much of a difference. So that was your modeling paste light. Okay. Now, be quick on this one. While this is still wet, we're going to come in with some embossing powder. Okay. So I'm going to go with two colors. I've got the Mirror Platinum and Champagne, but you can go with silver. It depends on what color you want your card to be, right? So first of all, I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of this color on here. And then I'm going to take that off. You can go one color, you can go three colors. It's entirely up to you how you want to do this. There's no right or wrong way. And again, for me, I would use a more intricate stencil, and it could also be that this stencil I've used so much, it's kind of a little bit ratty. Yes, I believe Debbie and Dali probably has this stencil. I mean, I might have one. I should really check before I say such things. And then just come and get the rest of your stencil with the other color. Just put the whole pot on it. Okay, so now I have like a two-tone stencil. Use the whole pot of embossing powder, put it back in the pot, and we are done with the embossing powder. Okay, so now what we're going to do, I will bring the 3 back out for you. So we have the regular cardstock ones, and then we have the glossy one here, which we've gone and embossed. Hi, Pat. Okay, Debbie, thank you so much, hon. Let's go ahead and dry these. So again, if you don't want your embossing powder to really puff up with the modeling paste, which I put down intentionally using modeling paste for the 3D puff up effect, then just use primer paste and do your embossing, or use a Versamark pad and do your embossing straight onto the paper, opposed to using any paste. So I'm just going to show you and see if you can't see how well this pops up. I don't know if you can see how thick that is there. It's really, really thick. I don't know how to show you. It's very 3D. Okay, I should probably give this a better dry, but might take a while. So make sure you let these dry properly. This one I'm not worried about, it's light dry. This one's still a little bit soft to the touch, but I don't know if you can tell now, but that's really very poppy and 3D-ish, if that's such a word. Hi Di, how are you doing today? You're late to the party. I'm always late to the party. Okay, so now that we have this, this is where the fun starts. Now, I'm going to explain to you, when you have the glossy paper, this one that we have the embossing on, it's going to take the pigment a lot darker and more brighter. One, because it's glossy, and two, the paints just sit that way when you're using a slightly glossy paper. When you're using the matte papers, which I haven't gold embossed because I quite like this matte kind of look with the white modeling paste on it underneath, they will have a gold shimmer to them, but they will still have that matte effect. But you can see the gold shimmer right there when I tilt it a little bit. They're absolutely stunning. So if I had to pick, I'd have to say this is probably the look I would go for. But this is more of a bling bling kind of look, and hence the gold paper behind it. So let's go and move to the next step. There's a couple of ways that you can get the achieved background. So I will show you, and I'm going to do kind of a two-tone poinsettia with my matte papers. So first thing that you want to do is you want to have a full, not empty, water bottle, sprayer. Lucky for me, I always have two. Why? Don't ask me, I just happen to have two. So I'm going to want to grab that one. So on this one, I'm going to work with the colors that I've used on the other card. But the other one, I might change it up. I don't know. I'm going to think about it. So the first thing that you want to do is grab your 3 paints that you want to use. So these were the 3 paints. And I've just got 2 brushes here. One I'm going to keep for the lighter blue. And then this one, I'm not too fussed. I'm just going to go back and forth between these 2 with this brush. Because I'm not dipping the brush into the paint, I'm just squeezing very little on, and you will notice how a little smidge of paint, how far it will go. So let's try this. I mean, it's never going to be the same. That's just the way it's going to work, because it's all going to depend on how much water there is, how it flows. That's my disclaimer for saying if they don't look nothing like what I made, oh dear. Okay, so let's go ahead and spray this with water. And you want quite a bit of water on this because these are creamy acrylic paints. You want the paint to flow, okay? So I'm going to come in with my light blue first. So I'm just going to show you, I'm just going to take out a very, oopsie daisy, whoops. It took it out for me, obviously not shutting my lid on properly. Okay, so now I've got this everywhere. So I've got that little bit there because what happened, I let it squirt out. Look, I made a mess, everybody, look at this. So what you want to do is you just want to come in and you want to dab this. And if it's not flowing very well, you can just come in with some more water. But you just want to come in with one brush and you just want to place this wherever you want to go. Obviously, where there's more water, the more flowy it's going to be. So I'm going to cover the whole card because it depends on where I'm going to cut into with this color, right? So I'm going to just work with this one color first. And then all I'm doing is just dabbing and moving it around where I want the colors to be. Okay? So I want a little bit more blue in there. I don't know why, but I do. Okay, then what you want to do is you can come on with your next color. So I'm going to come in with a little bit of the teal. And again, oopsie daisy. So I just want a very little bit because it's so so see how chunky that is? That's just the creamy acrylics for you. They're just very, very chunky. And then you're just going to work this in where you want it. I know it doesn't look like much now, but I don't know if you can see the gold glimmer there. Can you see the gold pigment in it there? So I'm just going to come in and spray some more water because I want that one to be a little bit more watered down, if you will. I don't like the chunkiness there. And then you're just going to carry on, and you're just going to take this color. Now don't worry about where you've got too much blue or too little blue, because what happens is you're cutting this in the die cut machine anyway. So what's going to happen is that you're going to get some areas that you're not going to pick up anyway. So I don't want you to worry about that. And then you just keep coming in and just carry on and keep blending these colors. And then I'm going to come in with some green, and I'm going to leave some edges a little bit white because I'm wondering if the white would look nice. So here comes the green, and you're just going to do the same with the green, and you're just going to work it into the different colors just like this. Okay, you can see that gold pigment everywhere. Now this is one way of coloring your paper. Okay, I'm going to show you a different way you can also do it. It's so potent, this paint. So we're going to come in with some water there. Let's dribble that down a little bit and give it some different colors. So that's all you need to do. That's all you need to do on your first one, okay? Give that a little bit of water. Then we're just going to set this one to dry a little bit. And it still needs some water in the corner here. I'm trying to make it really, really flowy, opposed to very, very dark. If you want to take some off the sides, just pull it back a little bit, and that's all you're doing. So this is your first sheet all done, okay? So let's put this one aside somewhere where it can dry for a moment. I'm just going to put this, take this out. Now, this is one way to color. So this will be my darker leaves for that card. And then for my other one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with a lighter color. Now, I can do the exact same technique that I just did. But for this one, I'm going to show you the alternative way of coloring your paper. So because I've managed to spill so much blue everywhere, I'm just going to put some blue down here. I'm just going to bring in some water now. Just like that. So this is the other way you can do it. You can take the paint to the plastic paper or your work surface. You don't have to do it directly onto the paper. If you do it this way, it means your paper stays a lot drier. And then what you can do is now take this paper to the actual paint. So a lot of water is needed for this technique. And then you get this gorgeous kind of faded effect on here, okay? So I'm gonna come in with a few more different colors because I still need to give it a little bit more color. So again, a very, very little bit. You can see that on the end there, just a smidge. And bring that in, and you can mix it up with the blue that you already have there. And this one I'm gonna try and keep, like I said, quite light. That's not light though, is it, guys? Give it a bit of water, and then I can come back in and pick that up, and then you can see what's happening here. So just keep picking that up, and this one I think I'm going to keep it in this tone. So there you have it right there. So this one is not a lot of coverage compared to my very first one, which is like this. So two very different, because I want some contrast to my poinsettia. Now, having said that, if for some reason it's too much, come in and you can lift it off while it is still wet. So here you can see that I've lifted it off. Okay. Now I want to just add a touch of green to that. I don't know why, I just feel like it. So I'm going to look at the back of that. Isn't that gorgeous? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to introduce a little bit of green, and I'm going to put that down. And I've used my light blue brush. I think I've messed that up already. I'm going to just move that around. See, this is just a fun technique. Don't stress yourself out over it. And now I've picked up a little bit of light green here. Okay, so there's no, honestly, you can't go wrong, because like I said, this is going to be die cut, and you're not going to know. So here we have it. Two of my first set of poinsettias, they look like this because of the contrast that I want. Okay, now with the glossy paper, it's going to be a little bit darker than what I've been doing. I'm just going to clean this down, not that it's going to matter because you're not going to see the back of it. And I think these were the exact same colors that I used in my sample, but I think I'll change it up. I'm going to go with the magenta, and I really like this blue, I really do. And the bronze is in there too. I don't know, what shall I do? Let's start off with, I'm gonna make an executive decision here all by myself. Let's start off with the light blue again. And I'm just gonna come in and spray this again. And let's hope the blue doesn't do another big mess on me. So just take a little bit and put it down. And this one you can do 2 sheets with too, but I'm gonna just do the 1 sheet because I just really wanted to show you the technique. Oopsie daisy, that's too much. I just wanted to show you the technique more than anything. But even like this, the 1 color poinsettia would be nice. Okay, so you have a little bit of blue. I'm thinking that pink is going to be so potent now. I'm a little bit scared. Okay, well, let me get my other brush. I only brought 2 brushes because I was planning on going with the same colors. Let's try this magenta. Let's see what this is like. This is just like so lush. I can see the gold in it. So a very little bit, like I said, just a tiny smidge. And then just come in and do this. Ooh, not a pink girl, but I can dig this. I can dig this. So again, just kind of blend them up. You're going to get a little bit of purple happening here, just because that's the way the paints will work together. And with this one, I think I'm going to, oopsie daisy, here I go again. Be careful, these tubes just pop out paint like it's nobody's business. I'm going to try and go a little bit darker. The glossy paper will actually, when it dries, really pick up this magenta color. It really will. Okay, so this one is more deliberate, if you will. On the glossy paper, I'm going more deliberate rather than doing lots of blending or anything like I did with the other ones. It's kind of got a more deliberate way of me putting the paints down. So finally I'm just going to come in with a little bit of blue because I want it to be slightly darker. I'm so scared to squeeze these little tubes now. Big tubes, I should say. Come on, that's it, you. Come on out. So a little bit more deliberate about where I'm going. I'm not mishy-mashing it up as much. Come on, you can do it. Pop out of there. Because again, in the big picture, you're not going to really even notice. If you get some blotches here and there. Okay, so again, you can do 2 sheets of this with different darkness of your paint. It would be gorgeous in red, and I don't know why I didn't think of red, because red is our competition color of the month. Okay, so that's it. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to dry these. I actually quite like those colors. Sometimes I surprise myself. Okay, I'm going to dry these. As always, talk amongst yourselves. Sorry, I have to be extra careful about getting these dry because I've got to put them through the die cut machine. I just wanted to show you the two that I played with yesterday. This is what they're going to look like when they're done. So even the cutouts, I've already actually had kind of distressed this on the edges. But how gorgeous is that even on its own? If you were to put this down on, say, black cardstock behind it or something. I don't have black cardstock here, but so if you were to take this and just put it down onto black cardstock like that, you now can actually end up with two cards. Or put it on silver cardstock behind, and you have the piece at the bottom. So really, don't always be quick to throw away what you have made or die cut out of, because even the die cuts underneath, you can use them, like use them to your advantage. So I never throw anything away. So these were from yesterday, the two-tone colors, and I still had one left over. But isn't that gorgeous? That's using the metallic green on this one that I'm doing. Thank you, Charlie. Yes, Gail, you must try. So just wanted to show you that. Don't ever throw anything away. So let me see. You can probably see it on the back of this, but can you see that glimmer in it? You can see the blue glimmering. That's what's with the metallics. They have this gorgeous shimmer to them. And I don't think it's showing up on here. It's just an absolutely gorgeous glimmer. And you can see it in here too. It's just beautiful golden glimmer. And then with this one, like I said, when you do it on glossy, it is a lot shinier. It's a lot slicker. So you can see the sheen already on this one. Thanks, Dali. Hopefully you're watching from the van, Charlie, and you're not driving. Okay, so I just got a bit of a wet spot here. So now all I'm going to do, just give me 1 second. I'm just going to put these through and I'm hoping they don't stick because they're a little bit wet. I'm just going to put these through the die cut machine, which is right here. So give me 1 second. So we have our first set. I'll show you how gorgeous are these. Look at these. How beautiful are they? So just absolutely gorgeous. So that's the first one. Like I said, keep this now. Don't get rid of it. I'm going to put this one through now. And here we have the contrasting ones. So same family, same color group, just a different way of putting the paints down and how much you put down. So I'll show you the difference. So when we layer them, we're going to go light, dark, and then we can come in with light again. And then this is what will give you that beautiful contrast. Or you can go dark, light, and then dark again. It's entirely up to you how you want to do them, but they all belong in the same family. Okay, so we have those there. Okay, so I'm going to put this side. Now this little piece that's left at the bottom of your card, this is where, yeah, the tone down color is lovely, isn't it? Thank you, Danica. This part right here, we're going to cut up the piece. So all I have here is a die cut that says piece on it. So let me go ahead and cut that out. So again, we're staying within the same family. We're not changing anything, okay? Oopsie daisy. You guys can hear me clattering away here, changing the plates on my die cut. Have to make sure I get them the right way so I don't have all these little marks left on them. Okay, let's try this again because I accidentally cut through the wrong part. Okay, we'll see if we can salvage this. Okay, so now we have the little peace sign, and hopefully it's not too wet that I can't pop it out. Let's have a look here. It's too wet. I brokered it. But you guys get the gist, I hope. So be very careful when you're putting your stuff through a die cut. But here's the piece without the E. It's a piece. But now you can see how it's all going to come together and match. And you don't have to do 2 sets. You can do 3 sets on a card. You can do 4 sets. Just play and have fun. And let's go ahead and let's do this one now. I have to switch up the machine again. I think this one's going to turn out pretty nice. Went with totally different colors on this than what I did for my sample. Ooh, this one looks like it's going to be fun. So now you can tell the difference between how glimmery this one is. It's so shiny. So that's the difference between doing it on the gloss and non-gloss. And I'm going to try that piece sign again because I'm going to try it on this one. I think this one seems more drier. Let's see what happens. Maybe it'll work. I just love this. Just love. I should have done the piece the right way round. Then I could have salvaged it as a card. Yeah, so when you're doing your die cutting, if you want to use your negatives, yeah, just do them the right way. Don't be a Mindy or a Pep. Okay, I think this one might just work. It seems like it was dry enough, maybe because we let it sit the longest. So let me just get this out of there. It's that E, it's been a bit of a stickler. Okay, so the piece is done. This one worked out better. But look at that. Isn't that just so pretty? And it shines. So pretty, right, Pat? So pretty. Okay, I just want to show you again. Don't throw away your negatives. Sorry, I don't have a black cardstock here, so I keep putting it on my little black thing. But even a card like this, you can actually get 2 cards. So you've got the poinsettia card, and then you can do this card. You can put any color paper you want to underneath it. This has a lot of gold to it, so if you wanted to, you could do this gorgeous gold behind it. Okay? So like I said, don't throw away your extra pieces. Okay, so we're getting there, we're getting there. So next step, I just wanted to show you, you can go two ways. You can, I mean, even these together might work. Let's try that. Let's see if that actually works, because I just like to play around. So if we went one like that, and then that came in dark, then we could come in with this, and then we could come in with, that's too light, we could come in with this, and then on this side we could just go like this. So we could have this, we could have this here, and we could even have just a little one sitting here, but no. But I don't know. What do you think? Is that color combination a bit too funky? Should we stick to what we were doing? Somebody. But so this is, anyway, you get the gist of where I'm going. So with this one, you would need obviously 2 more little ones made there, or you could leave it on its own and you could just do it this way. You don't have to do much with it. Now, to finish this one off, all we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're just going to quickly distress the sides, because if we don't distress the sides, this will not pop on your paper. You can also go with a different colored paper. You can also design your own background paper, which I will show you quickly on the next one. But you see the difference of how much that one now pops compared to this one? Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Di. Yes, on a nice light pink base, it would be lovely. But this beautiful distressing just really makes these flowers pop, so you can actually see the beauty of the embossing on them. But I quite enjoyed going with this magenta pink and turquoise, even though to me that's not turquoise. No, that's not turquoise to me, but that's what it's called. So don't always get fooled by the names. When I ordered that, I thought I was getting a turquoise. So then what you want to do, just take any old thing that you have on hand, for instance, my wet brush here, and then just pop up your little flowers. Now, if you wanted to further enhance the gold embossing, then what you can do is you can come in with the wax paste and you can further enhance it. So let's just make this one little poinsettia to show you what this little guy is going to look like. So there we have it. And we put him in there. He would go in there. Let's just glue him down because we can. This is where I like my, oh, let's not do it that way because I'm gonna have to make another one. So this paper is slick, so gotta be just a little bit trickier. And now that I've done this pink and blue, I'm kind of wishing I had grabbed my other 3D pens, but that's okay. And let's just finish it off. Using all kinds of tools now. I'm actually quite liking this for a girl that's not pinky. of course I have to grab the 3D pen that's running out. So let's just give this a nice little. There we go. And I will show you a close-up. I don't think my dome's in the middle, to be honest. So here is a close-up of if you go with the poster board. Oh look, I did glue it down. The poster board and the gold embossing. Can you guys see that? Oh no, will I finish this off? I know, I'll have to finish it off now, won't I? But this is the, oopsie daisy, this is the one on glossy paper with the gold embossing. That's what it looks like. So let me put that on a black background, might be easier to see. There you are. Okay, so that's a glossy shimmery one. That's done. Okay. The other ones, what I'm going to do is, because I want to enhance this one a little bit, what you can do is just come in with the silver wax paste and you can just further enhance where the raised areas are, and you can give it a silver look, which further makes it more shinier. So you can do that to all of them. If you want to keep the white look, you can keep the white look too. So we'll just, and you can go in with this as dark as you want. As you know, there's a turquoise wax paste too. So you could use a turquoise wax paste on these colors. But this just adds a little bit more. You don't have to do this. It's just something that I chose to do. And you could do gold on here. You could do bronze, whatever color, copper. It's entirely up to you. I'm not putting a lot on. I just want more of a shimmer. I want it more blended in the card, opposed to it looking like I've put a whole bunch of wax paste on it. Let's see if you can see it there. You can see the shimmer more there where I put it on. And then you're going to do the same thing with this one. You are just going to come in and we are just going to quickly distress the sides of this one. Now again, this will have a different look, a different feel to it. You probably can't tell, but this has a gorgeous, gorgeous shimmer to it. I don't know if you can see that shimmer on it. It has a gorgeous shimmer. It's just harder to tell on camera because the paper itself is just regular cardstock. So I'm not taking my time in doing this. I'm just going to do it so I can show you my poinsettia. And I think it's really nice to use colors that typically, I haven't seen a blue poinsettia myself. Maybe there is one. Just to use something a little bit different. But today is really about showing you to use all those die cuts that you have at home. And mainly, of course, it's all about the Pentart Creamy acrylics and techniques in how to use your modeling paste. Basically, how to use all the Pentart products that you have, and you're thinking, okay, well, the modeling paste is good for molds, or the modeling paste is good for texture. Well, it's also good for stuff like this. You know, in your card making, it doesn't have to be strictly mixed media. Same with the paints. Don't always have to paint with the paints. You can create these beautiful, beautiful effects with them. And as you saw, how easy it was. You can't go right or wrong because the die cut's going to pick up different areas. So again, I won't get the brush, but I'll just give these a quick curl with my fingers here. Let me put it onto a white one so you can see it better. So that one's kind of light. So we'll go dark here, and then we'll go light again. So there you have it. And then this one, I'm just going to use 2. I'm not going to use that third one because I don't want 2 big poinsettias on my card, if you will. So we have these 2. So with this one, what I'm noticing is that it's too light. So this is an easy fix. All you're going to do is I'm going to throw this in there just if you feel. So for me, there's more of that turquoise blue there, and then this one is quite plain Jane. So all you need to do in that case is just go in, grab a little bit of your paint, which now I'm also ever so scared to use. Put it down like this, come in and spritz it, and then you can take this and you can just give it a quick dab here and there. And now you have more of a bluey that kind of matches the other one. So I won't dry this now. And then I will show you now that it is more matchy to my other one. So don't be afraid if the colors aren't matching. You can just go ahead and change the colors yourself individually to further enhance this. So for this one, I would use I won't put them together, you know how they're gonna look, a silver, the silver 3D pen. And just so you know, there's 2 golds and there's 2 silvers. There's a regular silver and gold, which is a very matte, but shiny, but matte. No, it's matte, but it's a metallic matte, if you will. And then these ones, the gold and silver, these are sparkly, so these actually have a sparkle in them. So I would use the sparkly one actually for these. So now you can see those there too. Now, when you've got paint like this, another thing that you can do is if you don't want to use a plain background on your card, you can just come in like so. I'm just going to pull out the other blue here. And if you want to tie it in even further, I mean, I didn't do this, but if you want to tie it in even further, you can just come and put color down. Don't be afraid to play with your colors and put them down. I'm going to give this quite a lot of water. And then what you can do is you can take some of your background paper like this, just put some down, and we're just going to give that a quick dry. Actually, I don't like that. It's got too much color on it. So we're not going to dry this. I'm going to do that again. And let's see if I can't do it the right way, the way that I want to do it. I just want a little bit here and there. I don't want a lot. More like this effect. This kind of effect. So picky about how I do things, aren't I? So there we go. I just want more of a watercolor effect like that. So I've gone and gotten fingerprints all over this with the distress, but I just wanted to show you that you can come ahead and you can further distress how you do your card. So if you want to take it just to make it more of a mixed media card and not so pretty and all tidy, you can just, I know Tim Holtz has a tool for this, right? I wasn't planning on doing this bit, but I felt like doing it. Come in and just rough it up. But I just want to show you, you can work with the paints in so many different ways. So now that you have that, what you can do is you can just mix media up a little bit further, and now you can actually then have a more of a kind of matching, more of a mixed media background. Let's just say that that was flush and stuck down. So now you have a card that has a watercolor effect right behind it, and it's kind of got the tone edges on it. I hope that makes sense. But that you can take it a step further. You don't have to always do everything on white plain paper if you don't want it this stark. So instead of that option, you can go with this option here if this was straight. So you can see the two side by side. So it's entirely up to you. You can change your background. Again, you're staying in the same color family. You're not changing anything. Everything stays the same. So now you know why I didn't want to use this one, because it just had too much on it. But it can be saved for another project. So there you have it. Let me just see if I can't straighten this one out a little bit. And then I can give you a better look of the two that we made today. You guys know I always like to do a comparison of my sample and then of what I've made. I would put the 3D dots in the middle there. And you can use this on a canvas project. You can use this on whatever you wish to. My piece is a little bit funky because the E came off. And so there you have it. And you have this gorgeous piece that's left over, which I could pair with the one that I had left over from yesterday. So this is just the demo cards. This was with the teal, blue and green metallic creamy acrylics and the embossing powder by Emerald Creek and Tim Holt's black soot. And this is today's demo for it. We went with the magenta and the turquoise, and again Emerald Creek embossing powders and black soot. And then this was my sample demo yesterday that I made on just regular cardstock and black soot. And this is it today. Just shabby chic it up a little bit more. So that's it. I hope there's, the magenta gel. I am shocked. You know what? Sometimes I'm not the best person at putting colors together, but I just love this shiny one. And again, they don't have to be conventional colors. Albeit red would have been a great one today because red is our competition color of the month. So I hope this was helpful. You found some new ways to use not a card maker. I know, man, right? I always say I am not a card maker. I don't do cards. I don't know how to do cards. But you know what? I think, I'm thinking I'm doing all right, aren't I? I'm not doing so bad, too shabby. So yeah, I loved actually making these cards. I actually really like this version for myself. I like it where it's not so stark, and and I'm really, really impressed with how this one turned out. In fact, those colors go so well together too. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Look at this one now. So play, have fun, use your metallics. They are absolutely amazing. I hope you enjoyed this technique. I hope you learned that acrylics can be used in many, many ways, including card making. And don't forget to catch your dally tomorrow. Competition color for this month is red. The winners will be announced this week. So everybody have a great day. You're so welcome, Jill. You're so welcome, Debbie. And thank you, Min. I'm quite happy with them. And 2 more weeks and then we'll be off for 2 and then back on again. So everybody have a brilliant day. Thank you for joining me this morning. And take care, everyone. And take care of each other.